We've got one hell of a show for everyone. Went through a number of different websites to gather up all of this wonderful information for you. This is going to be the dirty charity secrets that they don't want you to know about.
Not the clean ones, but the dirty
Yeah,
charities.
and it's funny.
Welcome to the closing table with the Money Guys, Sidney Young and Jared Parrish. This episode is being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com, your source for real estate investment funding. Now, presenting the Money Guys. All right. It's the closing table with the Money Guys. I'm Sidney Young.
And Jared Parrish.
We're Money Guys. We got
Your money.
As you see, it's being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com. Hey, guess what? It's been like a week since we did a podcast. We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, we've been slacking a little bit.
We've been a little busy.
Hey,
over
you know
here,
what?
man.
We've got a regular job too.
What the hell?
yeah.
Don't ever go against the family.
So, yeah. But the good thing is that time has given us time to think.
Yes.
Come up with new ideas.
We drank too.
You're so money and you don't even know it.
So I mean, we've been working. We've had some things to do, but hey, you know what? We're back in front of everyone, bringing all this wonderful business and money entertainment their way.
Man, we're coming to you live from downtown Houston, Texas. Today, it's only 177 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's down, a few degrees from
That's
yesterday.
right.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of stuff happening around the country today, especially in real estate. Real estate's being bought up left and right. It's hard to find inventory, but it's out there.
On fire.
It's on fire.
Yeah.
A lot of closings scheduled with us. A lot of new business. We're doing some $7 and $8 million deals, some really large ones. I like those.
And the little shout out to the sellers out there, because this market is becoming difficult for us because people are paying overappraised value for
you
these homes.
bastards.
Yes, and it's like, you better be bringing some money to the table because we can only lend so
Ring,
much.
ring. Allura Financial, I can help you. You got 100% financing? No.
Yeah,
Click.
I ain't your mommy, I ain't your daddy.
That's it.
Funny
But
stuff.
today, Mr. Parrish here come up with a pretty catchy subject. He wouldn't tell me everything. All he told me is about somebody named Charity.
Yeah. Stage two. So today, we've got one hell of a show for everyone. Went through a number of different websites to gather up all of this wonderful information for you. This is going to be the dirty charity secrets that they don't want you to know about.
Not the clean ones, but the dirty
Yeah, and it's funny that I always say what they don't want you to know about. It's like, well, it takes a Google search, so it's really not that hard to figure it out.
It took
But a lot
years
of
of research.
Yeah, but a lot of people are not, and there's a lot of other people that have actually done the research. I'm just the Mr. Google. But it's fun. I mean, they say they don't want you to know about it, but it's been publicized. But a lot of people aren't searching for what's going on with charities. And there's a lot of people that take advantage of charities and all of the protection that the government gives them.
And yes, you're going to learn the so-called nonprofit charities aren't always nonprofit.
Yeah. Now, what we found out with dealing with a local nonprofit, who, I mean, even if it was a for-profit, he still was a nonprofit because he wasn't making any money. But we did find out that even like the 501c3s, the nonprofit entity can own for-profit businesses.
Well, if you're not in it for profit, what are you in it for?
I know. I thought that was pretty interesting. So we're going to learn a number of little different.
Hey, one of the mega church leaders here in Houston finally went to federal prison for 6 years this week.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
he
a little.
was stealing millions of dollars.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean that someone is actually using the name of God for profit?
He did.
What's a mystery? That's been a sour taste in my mouth for a long time. The idea of, I'm religious.
I thought that liquor yesterday was a sour taste in your mouth.
No, that was good.
Oh, okay,
that was
never mind.
good. No, I'm a religious person. I believe in God. I've got a relationship with God, but I don't believe in today's church, or at least a lot of them. I think a lot of them are just manipulative. And
he goes to the airport with a tin cup. Give me one.
No, I'm the guy with the shaved head that's handing out carnations. Hare Krishna.
Oh, you don't ride around on the
Krishna.
bicycle and knock on the door?
So anyway, so like an example of one that has been shut down for doing some nefarious things.
The who?
Nefarious.
Oh, isn't that Greek guy?
I think it's the bad man.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Cancer Fund of America, they were revealed after years in business that the charity was only really using a few cents out of every dollar to really help people. The rest of it was paying went to paying telemarketers to prey on older people and to do funding lavish lifestyles for the founder and his family. Cancer Fund of America has been shut down though. So
how much money are we talking?
They didn't really go into details. I mean, it was just kind of an example of what a lot of people do think of charities, like myself. When you go to pay at Walgreens or wherever, they're like, "Hey, would you like to give to such and such kid foundation?" No, I even had one asshole who goes, "What? You don't like kids?"
No, I don't.
Oh, you're trying to little heartstrings. No, I'm sorry. A lot of charities. There's way too much overhead.
Hey, what about here in Houston, Texas? It's extremely hot outside, and you got these guys that stand on a corner with a bucket, and they got some piece of paper to try to hand you, and they collect money. Do you actually think they turn that money in?
No.
Of course they don't.
No. Just like I don't think when you pull up to a street corner and you've got 10 kids out there with their football helmets, no. And that's one thing that we'll touch on this for a real short period of time, but raising money for like local kids stuff. When I was a kid, we did car washes or we sold candy.
Yeah.
There was, you were teaching the kids something, and now what they're doing is
we did fix and flips.
But now what they're doing with kids is a lot of the parents or the organization is putting them on street corners and teaching them how to beg. I don't think that's right.
Well, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, you wash a car, sell some candy, do something.
Get creative in business as a young man.
Yeah, I mean that helped me anyway. But anyway, so on to our list today. So start out with the Kids Wish the Kids Wish Network.
Kids Wish Network.
It spends less than 3 cents for every dollar on actually helping the kids it's supposedly raising money for.
Wow.
The rest of it goes to either people operating the charity or the for-profit companies that are hired to bring in donations. Over a 10-year period, over $110 million that was raised for them actually went to their corporate solicitors instead, while $4.8 million went to the charity's founder over that same period. Celebrities who have publicly supported Kids Wish Network include Barack Obama, Julia Roberts, Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter,
Harry,
and Mark Hamill.
Oh,
you know who Mark Hamill is?
Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah. That's just to name a few. The list is actually pretty huge. So, I mean, 3 cents out of every dollar that you would donate to this Kids Wish Network would actually go to help these kids.
That's a lot of money.
That's some bullshit right there. That pisses me off. So I did look up the CEO's salary of each one of these.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to be a nonprofit, they do have to disclose these things. But not all of them seem like very much, or they don't really seem, exorbitant.
Overly priced.
But this is just what they were forced to report. So there's other ways that these CEOs can make money off of these charities, and you're going to see how. So anyway, Kids Wish Network, the CEO's salary is $148,000 a year.
That's it?
That didn't seem
How
ridiculous.
can
That didn't seem ridiculous for me. But like I said, that's just what they had reported. Next on the list, probably you've heard of them, UNICEF.
Oh, UNICEF, yeah.
UNICEF, yes. UNICEF has already been embroiled in one scandal with claims in the 1990s that they had misappropriated more than $1 million in funding. But there's another dirty secret behind the charity, too. They tend to use misdirection to make their own achievements seem larger than they are in actuality, which could mean that people that are donating to them rather than there's people donating to them rather than just, doing good with their money anyway. They made a lot of claims about the fall in child mortality rates, the increase of clean water, and the improved overall nutrition in a lot of countries where they operate. The truth of the matter is the economic upturn has been the main contributing factor to
Are
those
they the ones that
improvements.
glue the fly on the kid's eye?
And they probably do some
Okay.
crooked shit like that. But yeah, so in those areas where they're functioning, just because the economy did better, it wasn't because of them, but they're taking credit for it. So I mean, there's a lot of misappropriation with UNICEF. There's a lot of stories in this. UNICEF is so huge; it's hard for them to really break down all of the accounting on that one. But I did look up the salary, $521,000 for the CEO.
Wow.
Once again, I think it's a lot. I don't think it's exorbitant because I'm sure that there's they want to make sure they get a good business person in there.
500 bills.
$500,000.
This CEO's underpaid.
Now, in my opinion, I think a lot of charities, although they take a lot of time, but I think it should be more of a voluntary thing.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of work goes into charities. A lot of work.
No, there is a lot.
$500,000. That's kind of excess, you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand that there's a lot of work that goes into it. That's why you have volunteers to do it. And I'll give you an example. The charity that I'm affiliated with, Bikers Against Child Abuse. There's not one position in this entire structure, this organization, that has a paid position.
But
Everyone's
if you had an
voluntary.
international charity, you'd almost have to have someone full time to do that.
That is an international charity.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah, that's worldwide. And
It has to do with volume.
They take in millions and millions of donations, which is great, and it all goes to the kids. None of it goes to any of the members or anyone that runs it. So I think personally, to me, I like donating to those types of charities, knowing full well that the money is going to help someone.
Yeah.
If not, cut out the middleman. What I did for a while was I would take out every month. I would take out $50 in singles. And I would keep them in the door of my truck. So when I'd see a homeless person, I'd give them $1. Cut out the middleman.
You see what I do? I don't give them money. I give them things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done that too. Clean out the pantry. You got a lot of canned goods, and it's always good. Next on the list, one that a lot of people may know and like, the American Red Cross.
Ah, the old Red Cross people.
Yeah. The American Red Cross came under serious fire after taking donations to rebuild homes in Haiti. We all heard how well that went. Despite the fact that they had taken in $488 million in donations to help the country, a report in 2015 suggested that only 6 homes were actually built.
Well, it takes a lot to build a home.
Yeah. $488 million to build 6 homes. Something in Haiti. In Haiti. Yeah.
There's probably building codes.
Like a bat out of Hades. All right. So the organization denied that things were as bad as they looked, saying that a lot of money had been spent, on emergency aid. But at the same time, they refused to provide any type of figures or any type of proof that they actually did that. Some of the big names and supporters for the American Red Cross, Bill Gates, Adam Lambert, Nicole Kidman, Britney Spears, even Nelson Mandela. The CEO's salary.
How much?
$700,000.
That's my boy.
And then I found another little figure. After a lot of deep diving into them, 9 cents out of every dollar that's donated to the American Red Cross actually goes to help.
No, 9 cents.
9
Better
cents.
than 3.
Now they claim it's 78 cents for every dollar, or no, excuse me, 88 cents out of every dollar actually goes to help people. But they're not factoring in their manpower and their cost of
the equipment, the supplies, food, all that
and
stuff.
so it's about 9 cents is what actually gets to help people. Next on your list, Children's Wish Foundation.
Is that the Make-A-Wish?
That's funny because they actually model themselves after Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I got you. Okay.
And they try to.
That's why people donate.
Yeah, they try. They really kind of mock them.
Little Johnny just wants to meet the Major League Baseball star. That's all he wants.
Yeah, he just wants to meet Ken Griffey Jr., man.
You know, can you donate $100 million to him?
So, using the well-known name, they gloss over the fact that they are actually a separate organization from Make-A-Wish. And they asked for donations over the phone. While the Children's Wish may have paid $9.8 million in aid, although donated goods made up $3 million of that. So $6 million actually went into help. Now that's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking, hey, $6 million, that's wonderful. Well, they actually collected a tad bit more than that.
Really? How
Yes. So I said $9 million actually went to help, right? Well, technically it was $6 million because a lot of it was donated goods. And cash donations, they've received $92.7 million.
That's it?
So 10% actually went to help. Less than 10% went to help. They've posted photographs of children with famous faces, including presidents or big musicians and sports stars. Now, the CEO, once again, kind of going back, these bigger organizations, they've got a lot of room to hide things. The CEO collects $201,000 a year.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Like I said, that one doesn't seem, ridiculous. But
you know who did not collect a CEO salary? These people, because they are no longer, they are definitely nonprofit. We'll be right back.
Coming up, and all this great stuff at Builders Square. Anything's possible. There was a cover-up at the White House, and I was in the middle of it. Halfway there, Mr. President.
Good.
Be done long before that barbecue with the Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Just doing my job, sir. Could save time, money, and maybe even your country. Builders Square, the warehouse, and everything.
All right, welcome back. They are no longer in business. They are a true nonprofit.
Right.
Now, we're talking about nonprofits who profit from their nonprofit.
profiting from a nonprofit.
I like
it doesn't
that.
sound possible. Kind of you kind of want to set up a
3 easy payments of $39.95.
Next on my list. This might piss off some people. The Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation.
Oh, Leo.
Now you think, hey, ever since Marlon Brando, he turned down the Academy Award for The Godfather.
Yeah.
And he had a Native American woman come out and give her speech about the plight of the Native American. And that was the first time in Hollywood where they really pushed their political agendas, or they tried, didn't have some kind of cause that they were, they would go up there and try to talk about and make everyone feel guilty and donate more money. But now you've got every celebrity out there that's fighting for some cause, or they're making up some kind of foundation. And in my opinion, I think any foundation that any rich person sets up, most of it's just kind of a way for them to hide their own money and pay less taxes. But we're not going to talk about that now. The Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation was embroiled in a hefty scandal in 2016 when it emerged that it had been receiving funds from 1MDB, which is the Malaysian Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Oh, okay.
The problem was that billions of dollars from the fund had been laundered in the U.S.
Well, at least it's clean.
At least it's clean, right? And the Department of Justice got involved to investigate. At the center of the scandal was a man named Joe Lowe.
Joe Lowe, not J-Lo.
Sometimes you can't make up these things. His name's Joe Lowe, who had posed for photographs with DiCaprio and donated money on a number of occasions. These normally involved purchasing items which had been put up for sale to the benefit of the charity, allowing money to pass through into new hands, while the businessman then had items he could sell on and recoup the damage. Which is actually a pretty popular form of money laundering.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie Mickey Blue Eyes?
No.
Anyway, it's a mafia movie. It's a comedy, but anyway, they used an auction house and had one of their cousins paint these photos, but the people who owed the mafia money would have to go in and bid, and they'd pay $2 million for some piece of shit painting. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. So anyway, that's how they were laundering the money. There were immediate calls for the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation to return the funds, as well as for DiCaprio to return his fee for The Wolf of Wall Street, which had been partly funded by the Malaysian businessman.
Really?
Ain't that interesting?
Jordan Belford's look-alike funded by
right? And the CEO for this, which is not Leonardo DiCaprio, He doesn't take any money from the foundation.
Of course not.
Which,
Yeah.
the CEO makes $500,000 a year.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty good CO salary.
Not bad for a part-time
For a
job.
nonprofit, yeah.
Yeah, for a nonprofit part-time.
Yeah, no shit.
Another one, Greenpeace. Who
Greenpeace.
doesn't hate those tree huggers?
Man, I like it. My favorite song is what is it? What?
A song about
Yeah.
Greenpeace?
Yeah, they're the band.
I'm missing you.
They're a
on that.
rock and roll band.
Okay.
Oh shit, Green Day. I'm sorry.
Green Day, different one.
Peace Day, same thing.
Yeah, so it's in the ballpark.
Yeah.
So in 2014, when Greenpeace was
Wake me up, would you?
before you go. When in 2014, when Greenpeace was forced to admit that it had lost $5.15 million after a trader gambled their money against the euro. So when the euro did not continue to decrease in value as predicted, the charity was left with far less money than before. And around the same time as that this happened, it also became known that the international program director was flying between Luxembourg and Amsterdam twice a month on the company dime. This despite the fact that Greenpeace actively campaigns against the widespread growth of plane flights. Hypocrisy at its
Where
finest.
was my boy going to?
Well, he was going between Luxembourg and Amsterdam.
What was he doing?
I don't know. Maybe the hookers? We had that discussion the other day.
Yes.
The director apologized, but he had already been following the practice for at least 2 years, and the damage was already done. A huge number of celebrities that have supported Greenpeace include Madonna, Bono, and Richard Branson. The CEO's salary.
I'm going to guess 600.
I call bullshit on this one. CEO's salary for Greenpeace is $65,000.
No.
I mean, at least he could buy a Subaru.
I mean, no, he couldn't. There's more to that.
But yeah, I mean, and there's been a lot of misappropriation of fund. There's been a lot of negativity in the shadows of Greenpeace.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see how many people just really push for that one. One that I personally love to hate on, PETA.
Oh, the old PETA people.
Yep, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Now it sounds like this great
What are you
organization,
killing that
right?
scorpion for? He's just a little baby.
So PETA has seen support from a huge number of celebrities, many of whom are vegetarian or vegan, and therefore want to stand up for animal rights. I get that. I mean, I'm not a supporter of any type of unethical treatment of animals. I mean,
The vegans, that's the vegetable eaters, isn't it?
yeah, they don't eat any animal products.
My meat eats their shit.
Their food.
Yeah.
Yep. So Pamela Anderson has been one of their supporters, along with Moby, Bryan Adams, Charlize Theron. They regularly euthanize animals in their shelters. Now think about it, the ethical treatment of animals. Now I looked into this outside of this particular article. In most animal shelters, their kill rate, as far as what percentage they have to euthanize, is usually between 20 and 30%.
Oh, wow.
Okay, because they really push to get these animals
That's
adopted.
a terrible job to have.
Absolutely. You know what the kill rate is with the PETA?
30%.
90.
Whoa, really?
Actually, in some cases, it was 97.
Jesus. Everyone's dying there.
So, yeah, don't take any lost animals to a PETA shelter. They go and die. And one of the reasons in that, when one of them was being interviewed discreetly, by the way, is they don't feel that it's right for an animal to be owned by someone else. They feel like they are a sovereign citizen.
Well,
And I call.
I think my
have
little
an issue with
Winston
that.
will disagree with that.
All right. So yeah. Anyway, that's PETA for you. Gotta love them. Project Cure. You ever
Never heard of 'em.
I never heard of that one either. They were bankrolled by a fund. Now this is a big debt problem. Now you never think of charities would have bad debt. You're thinking, I mean, it's
But all the donations.
all the donations are running off of that. Shouldn't have an issue, right? Not so much. So they were bankrolled by a fundraising company to start up, but then stuck with the contract, which left them with huge rates to cover. Now, every year since 1998, though the charity has managed to raise more than $65 million, it has ended up owing the fundraiser more than they actually raised. The latest figure shows that it is some $3 million in debt. Although the charity may be nonprofit, the same certainly can't be said for the fundraising company. So the fundraising company is making buku money on this, and that's not a not for profit. It's not a nonprofit. It's a very for profit, and they are making money hand over fist. So even though people are donating all the time, the money is not actually able to get to the idea of the charity. Their goal. And CEO salary?
$310.
$190.
$190,000.
$190,000 to a CEO for a company that can't. I mean, I understand it's nonprofit, but you still have to make money.
And
but every year is operating at a loss.
Wow.
I think I would.
I don't
fire
really
the
operate at a loss. You're paying this guy.
Yeah. No shit. So a company that's consistently in debt that can't get rid of the debt. So they're, in my opinion, operating at a loss. Yeah, but yet they could still afford to pay their CEO $190,000.
Yep.
Wonderful. Just wonderful people.
Yep.
Another one that I love to hate on, American Breast Cancer Foundation.
Oh, I like them.
Now, I love the idea. Breast cancer is terrible. I've got friends and family that have had issues with breast cancer, and it's a terrible illness. Cancer in general just sucks.
Yeah.
But the American Breast Cancer Foundation was founded by Phyllis Wolfe in Baltimore. Now, she resigned in 2010, but during the 8 years that she was in charge, she was paying $18 million in telemarketing fees to one company. Now, telemarketers have to get paid. Now, they're not all volunteers, although I believe they should be. But the telemarketing company is a for-profit. The company, that company is called, even though they're for-profit, it's called Nonprofit Promotions.
I love them.
Little misdirection there. You just got to love how they set this up. And it happens to be run by, drum roll please,
Dun, 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 dun. Oh.
her son,
What
Joseph Wolfe.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, it's amazing how
didn't
that
know he
works
was
out.
there.
The charity has apparently stopped using telemarketers since Phyllis stepped down, although it's not clear whether they are currently operating above board or simply finding other ways to siphon funding. Very
Mention siphon funding. This next company should have siphoned something because they're out of business. All right. We're talking about companies, nonprofits, making a profit with a nonprofit.
And trying to hide it.
Yeah, hide
I gotta love it.
The old hiders.
Now, this is one that you were complaining about the other day.
Oh, the office sleeping chairs. Yeah.
Office sleeping chairs are fun, and those are for profit.
Yeah.
We'll leave them alone.
Right.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association.
Oh, bastards call. You would have helped the police officers? No, motherfucker, I don't help you.
So the United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is still going today, despite the death of its founder, Stephen Van Dyke, in 2010. Their apparent mission was to donate equipment to sheriff's departments in rural areas and to help provide training for officers. I
swear I haven't been drinking.
Madden. I get tongue-tied every now and then. It's all right. So anyway, they're trying to provide that training. It has been disciplined by at least 3 states for poor spending practices, which sees a huge percentage of its profits going to solicitors instead of helping with their mission. So once again, with these charities, they can funnel money wherever they want to go and not have to worry about it because all of it's a write-off because they have to spend that money. But the people who own those solicitors could be in bed with the charity. Their spending history shows $17.9 million paid to solicitors, $7.8 million paid directly to the charity, and its owners as running costs. $7.8 million.
How much my boys banking over there?
Hold on. But the amount of money that actually went to aid. So remember, they paid $17.9 million to solicitors. They didn't say how much they raised. But that's how much they spent to solicitors. The amount of money that actually went to aid was $192,000.
Oh, look there. It changed a life.
Yeah.
Ah!
It's amazing. After the new president, Thomas Palma, took over, he moved the charity's headquarters, but has since already been fined for misrepresentation. Now, as far as what's reported, the top 3 positions there, CEO, CFO, and I believe CO, $150,000 each.
That's it?
That's it.
That's reasonable.
But that's what they could prove. Now, those guys probably own some of the solicitors that they've had to pay.
Right.
That 17-point-something billion.
That's them calling right now. Hey,
yeah,
would
right.
you like to
Stop
help?
talking shit about us. Come on, man.
Can we count on your support to help the poor police officers? No.
Yeah, the retired police officers that are sitting behind this phone. All right, another one on our list is Defeat Diabetes Foundation. Now, there's a lot of diabetes foundations out there. March for Dimes, and I think March for Dimes is diabetes.
March for Quarters,
whatever it might be. The funny thing with diabetes, as far as type 2, that's something that can easily be cured. And I don't know what kind of research they're really going to have to do for these diabetes foundations. Cut out sugar, and your diabetes are going to go back to normal. So it's going to go away. Anyway, they wanted to raise awareness to help those suffering with diabetes. Wonderful idea. Did they do it? No. The reality is that they were hardly doing anything at all. Over 10 years, they raised $13.8 million in donations, $8.3 million of which went directly to their for-profit fundraisers. So the people who were raising money, like the telemarketers and people walking down the streets, they actually paid out to them $8.3 million. On average, just $1,000 a year actually goes to help with diabetes.
Oh,
babies.
wow.
One of their most shocking statistics comes from their 2011. The only action they took that year was to give away 300 blood sugar meters, which had been donated to them for free. They spent just $761 to send the meters out, and gave no other money all year. Amazing. Next one is Oxfam. I've never heard of Oxfam. But apparently,
OxyClean.
No, not OxyClean. Oxfam. No, so this is a favorite charity for a lot of celebrities. Celebrity endorsements include Elton John, Anne Hathaway, John Legend, Lady Gaga, and a bunch of list of Hollywood elites. However, the charity has been dogged with the accusations of fraud, abuse, exploitation amongst its workforce. The allegations have only grown stronger in recent years. There have been a number of people struck down and killed by their delivery vehicles, probably because they were going to expose something. Who knows? While the bulk of the complaints come from overseas, there were 23 allegations of abuse in the charity's British shops. 94% of the cases resulted in disciplinary action. So it's clear that these are not just made-up stories. The assaults really are happening. The company says that the increase in reports in recent years is simply because they have been encouraging more people to come forward about them. Alarmingly, this suggests that it may be an endemic position or problem, which has been going on for a long time. So charity out to help people, but we're going to rape women in our offices. I don't know if they could still hold the nice guy badge or not. I wouldn't think so.
No.
Yeah, we don't do that here, though.
No.
Not in our charity. The Human Fund. Donate to the Allura Human Fund. You remember Seinfeld?
Festivus.
Yeah, so we're going to cut real quick to someone who should be going to prison, but
Right back.
Fun is made for sharing, share the fun at Showbiz Pizza Place. We've got family fun at Showbiz, Dayton fun at Showbiz, everyone fun at Showbiz, Showbiz Pizza Place. We've got eating fun at Showbiz, racing fun at Showbiz, Showbiz fun at Showbiz, Showbiz Pizza Place. Share the fun, come on and share the fun at Showbiz Pizza Place.
All right. Now, that was charities who were nonprofit that were trying to make a profit. And
we got our number one spot, though.
Oh, we got number one. All right, let's hear it.
Make Poverty History. This one cracked me up.
I like that one.
So Make Poverty History. Make Poverty History. Imagine. Created a huge upswing of support with their wristbands. And everyone, celebrities, a bunch of other people wore these to show their support to Make Poverty History. Hundreds of thousands of silicone wristbands were sold in the UK alone. at a price of just $1, with 70 cents of that being going directly to charity. So the idea behind the charity was stop poverty, increase better pay, and end a lot of the slave labor type things in different countries. That was their
$1.70. Okay.
Yeah, so that was their big push. The funny thing is, however, it soon transpired that the wristbands were being made in China, and not in ideal conditions. The Tat-Xing rubber manufacturing company was accused of taking financial deposits from employees, which amounted to forced labor. A 7-day work week, no holiday pay, long hours, poor health, and safety, and pay that was below the minimum wage in those areas. So this whole
sounds like a Lure Financial.
So this whole make poverty history thing is, we're against slave labor, but we're going to use slave labor to go ahead and make our little silicone wristbands, and we're going to sell them and make a bunch of money on it. So there was an angry reaction to the revelation, even from some of the celebrities which had gotten involved in the project, who said that they had felt that they were misled. Some of those celebrities include George Clooney, Scarlett Johansson, Jamie Foxx, and Ian McGregor, just to name a few. So you can see a lot of charities are full of shit. One charity that I do like is the Wounded Warrior Foundation.
I love them.
That one is a
Trace Atkins.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think anyone has a paid position.
Probably not.
Probably just a small few, but even
Probably
then.
not. But check out your charity when you're out there. Do your research on them, and as more of these deals pop up in the future, we'll pop these in too.
Yeah. Now, just to add this off, put a little cherry on top. We've got the top 10 charity CEO salaries. This is gonna make you sick. So Craig B. Thompson, MD. He is the president and CEO of Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Now, this is a charity cancer center for people who have very rare forms of cancer. It's really difficult. People who can't afford cancer treatment, they can go to Sloan Kettering. Now, a lot of people do donate to Sloan Kettering. His salary, $5.7 million a year.
Good for him.
For a charity.
Making good money.
Robert W. Stone, the president and CEO of City of Hope and Affiliates. $3 million.
Poor guy. I don't know how he makes it.
Nancy Brown, the CEO of the American Heart Association.
Okay.
People do a lot of the American Heart Association.
Yep.
Well, she makes $2.5 million
She's
a year.
broke.
Michelle James, the chief of staff for Shriners Hospital for Children,
I love
which is
Shriners.
one that I used to really like, and I think
Shriners.
they do a lot of
Yeah.
good. She gets $2.2 million a year.
She probably deserves $5 million.
And we've got for a number 5 spot, Wayne R. LaPierre.
Up here.
Now, he is the executive vice president for the National Rifle Association, the NRA. $1.8 million a year. I didn't really know that Rifle Association did much more than just try to help protect our laws, but
Man, that is some good information being brought to you today by the Closing Table with the Money Guys.
so look at your charities before you donate. Know where your money's going. And if you just have money burning in a hole in your pocket,
Yeah, we
always send it to
does.
us.
This is the Closing Table with the Money Guys.